Hello, welcome to Liz Rocks and Stuff. I'm Liz. This is episode 114 of What's in My Tumbler. We are starting off with a squirrel and rainbow obsidian. This is the rainbow obsidian that was sent to me by Rock and Tumble, and I could not be happier with how this stuff is turning out. This is batch A, so I have batch A and batch B. This is batch A, currently in stage 3.5. So we are going to start batch B in stage 3.5 today. But first, we are going to get batch A rinsed off. And apparently, Yuna has found her squeaky ball. So enjoy that. Do a quick inspection, make sure that nothing in here is chipped or broken. And after that, we will get this into a soap cycle. All right, adding all of that media back in, and then we are going to top this up with water. Initially filming this, I did forget to put the soap in, but I remembered after I turned the camera off and was putting this away, I realized, hey, I never actually opened the soap container. Therefore, I did not put soap in this. So I opened it up, put soap in it. You'll see in a second when I open this up that there actually was soap in it. I just did it off camera rather than turn the camera back on and take the whole thing. It wasn't worth it. So we are going to get these all rinsed off. Once they're rinsed off, I am going to put these aside and put the batch B rocks in. So these are going to go for a tumble in the stage 3.5. And then they are going to get a tablespoon of borax and a tablespoon of stage 3.5, which is the 1000 grit, and they are off for a week. So these are going to be done soon. And I realize I'm going to have a lot of stuff coming out of final polish for in the next couple weeks. So this is Candy Coated Chaos, green, pink, and yellow opal. And it is a softer rock, so it doesn't chew through the grit as much. So I've just been leaving whatever residues in the bottom of the barrel and just adding fresh grit to it. So this is going to sort these out. There were a lot more rocks ready for stage 2, but not quite enough for a whole batch yet. I think I'm going to get as much of this stuff through stage 1 as I can, and then see if I'm going to do 2 batches through into stage 4, because I don't see me wanting to mix this opal with other rocks. I might have to just split it up into 2 batches and put some media in for cushioning and see how that goes. But we shall see. Sorting is going pretty quick. There's not a whole lot of rocks in here. I don't know if you can hear the growling, but apparently Momo might be trying to steal Yuna's ball. Alright, so sorting these out. I'm just going to put the chips in. I don't care if the chips get tumbled away into nothing. They're fine. So I'm adding the last of my rough. This is, so I have no more of the rough opal. And we're going to then put those stage 2 ready rocks off to the side and put in the water, and it's going to look weird in the cut. But I put in the soap, the borax, and the stage 1 grit, and then I had to rinse off the rim to make sure that this lid went on, so it kind of cut funny there, but I had to make sure that this was going to seal properly. So this is my Candy Coated Chaos going into stage 1 for another week. Pure Hunger. This is the Pure Purite with Triflite and Blue Apatite chips that I added in 3D printing poop to see if it would work as a tumbling media. I will tell you, the poop, not so much. I would not recommend using that. Now, the misprints, they're probably fine. But what ended up happening with the little poop pieces is little tiny, like millimeter to 2 millimeter chunks of the plastic broke off. So You can't see it too well here, but there's just like little teeny tiny colored bits of plastic filament all over the place, which means I can't really dump this out into my yard because it's plastic. It's never going to break down. And there's another problem, which I will show you later after this soap cycle, but we're going to put this into a soap cycle. And instead of using this, like I said, the bigger pieces I could probably use, but I don't have a whole lot of that. But you can see all the little teeny tiny bits of plastic kind of everywhere. I'm going to put this through a soap cycle because I'm still going to move it on into stage. Since these are softer rocks, I am going to do a stage 3.5, and we're going to see how that goes. But I'm going to go back to my fallback for plastic tumbling media and use mist castings, resin castings. But my plan here was, at least it's plastic, it'll float, so I can just throw these things into a bucket and scoop out the plastic media, and at least I can clean it up and it'll be fine. Wrong. Apparently, I did not realize, my husband told me, this is PET G. And PET G sinks. It does not float. So that plan went out the window. The one good thing is that at least there wasn't any tiny bits of plastic stuck to the rocks as I pulled them out, but I did have to spend quite a bit of time picking the apatite out of the plastic bits, which was not fun. There's a bit of it that I'm showing here. I did not show nearly all of it. It took me quite a while, and it was not a fun experience. So do not recommend using the poop. If you don't know what I'm talking about with the poop, when my husband's printer will print in multiple colors, so when it changes colors, it has to like spit out the excess filament, and then that kind of gets kicked off the plate into a little container, and they call that the 3D printing poop. At least I'm assuming that's what it is. But anyway, I spent a good amount of time picking the plastic out of this bit. And so now instead of 3D printing stuff, I'm going to use old or bad resin castings or excess resin castings. And I have some of these for stages 2, 3, and 4. I didn't have any for stage 3.5, so this is all brand new. And then I have some for stage 4, which will be fine for next week. But that was about a tablespoon of borax, a little less than a tablespoon of stage 3.5 grit, since I don't use a full tablespoon in my 1-pound tumbler for this, for small rocks. Is that a mistake? Maybe. Honestly, this batch is kind of all over the place and cursed anyway, so it's going to end up how it ends up. But we are just going to tighten that down, and this is in stage 3.5. You know what? I have these nylon cubes for my cat to play in, and Yuna somehow gets herself stuck in them regularly. Anyway, now we are on to Coca Trolla. This is the Sunset Sodalite and the Trolleyite that I am tumbling. This right now is my current favorite batch. I don't know. Oh, it's tough. Between the Rainbow Obsidian and this, that is a tough call on which one of these would be my favorite batch. Currently going, okay, this is probably second favorite, but it's real close. And only because I've tumbled both of these before. I don't know. I don't know if I like the Trolleyite or the Coca Trolla or the Rainbow Obsidian better. Anyway, doing a quick inspection, making sure nothing is chipped or broken as per usual. And then we are just going to get these cleaned off and then put into stage 3. All right, that was a tablespoon of ivory soap, tumbled for a few hours, and now these are going to get rinsed off yet again. They're just looking so good. If they shine up properly, I'm going to just be so happy. And This is so good. I wish I had more of the darker shades of blue for the Trolliate, but I'm totally fine with the shades that I got. They're just such a pretty rock. Anyway, so top that up. This is going to get a tablespoon of borax and then 3 tablespoons of stage 3 grit. And this is ready to go. So next week we're going to start final polish on batch A of the Rainbow Obsidian, on the Pure Purite Triflite Pure Hunger, and Coca Trolla, all going into final polish next week. So that's exciting. And 2 of those batches, once they come out of final polish, I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to put in there for the next batches. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and hope to see you all back next week.